What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Saturday night's late night agenda. This time tomorrow, we will know the result of that game against Arsenal. Are Arsenal going to be in pole position to win the league title? Will Liverpool throw a spanner in the race? I guess we will find out tomorrow. But until then, I'm going to take you through all the latest transfer stories surrounding Liverpool Football Club, ask you for your thoughts below in the comment section, and of course, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do. Look, I'm going to start off with one that seems absolutely ludicrous, but I wouldn't mind there being some truth to it. So let's go straight away. El Nacional, coming from Spain, have said that Real Madrid are unhappy with Arlian Tchouameni, particularly the fact that they've spent so much money for a player who usually starts off the bench, and they question his attitude, they question his ability, and then I question, well, why did you buy him then? Why were you so insistent on signing the kid if you hadn't got a place to bring him in, or if he wasn't good enough to get into that squad? This article from El Nacional goes on to suggest that Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp in particular are waiting in the wings, poised to make a £71 million offer for the French midfielder. And I think, look, it's nonsense as far as I'm concerned, but it would be an interesting plot twist, right? If there was any grain of truth to it whatsoever. And we know that Jurgen Klopp was a big admirer of Arlian Tchouameni, and obviously we missed out because his dream move was to Real Madrid. I think personally they do still have room in that midfield for Tchouameni. Yes, you've got Camavinga, you've got Modric, you've got Kroos, you've got Valverde, but it's a long season, and they go on, as I said in this piece, to say that they just can't afford to have the luxury of a player that expensive sitting on the bench. So would you take Tchouameni if he was an offer in the summer? Or, like me, do you think that this may be a little bit of shithousery from Real Madrid, or the media maybe suggesting that they don't have space for him, but we might sell him to Liverpool and then we could go and get Jude Bellingham? I don't know. But look, I'll hand it over to you and see what you guys have to say anyway. 71 million was the fee that El Nacional say Liverpool are prepared to pay for Arlian Tchouameni. And then more ludicrous stories. Of course, we touched on this last night during the live stream, but it seems as PSG have entered the race now to sign Jude Bellingham. You're wasting your time, lads. Now, you can reverse truckloads of cash as much as you want up to the Bellingham house, but he's got no interest, I'm sure, of going and playing in the French league in a club that is, again, showing itself up to have no vision. They just sign superstars and hope it works, and it hasn't worked, and it won't work. Then they said that they were going to build their squad around the best up and coming French talent. I don't think that that's Jude Bellingham, unless I've missed something really obvious here. So again, I think that this is just PSG showing desperation right now and trying to bring in somebody who I'm sure has absolutely zero interest. If he's not going to go to Real Madrid, I don't see that he's going to go to PSG. So for me, this is another one that I think we can put on a certain island off the coast of Ireland that we like to call Bullshit Island. So right, we move on then to a very interesting story today coming out of Italy, and that is about the Napoli defender, Kim Min-Jae, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Liverpool have been linked with this guy for a few weeks, but this article that I pulled today is very interesting because who would have thought that maybe Liverpool missing out on the Champions League would have a benefit? Well, the benefit seems to be that we would be able to get this guy cheaper because of a clause in his Napoli contract. So the person in the article says it's an entangled situation. Certainly until the end of the season, there'll be no talk about his future, although the club has already informed the boys' entourage, they go on to say. To be more precise, the termination clause in his contract varies from 40 million in favour of clubs that do not play in the Champions League, all the way up to 70 million for clubs that do play in the Champions League. So I guess this will come down to what clubs go in from. If Liverpool are in the Europa League next season, they go in from, they can apparently get him for 40 million quid. But if, let's say, one of the top four clubs in England comes in, or a club in another league comes in, they'd apparently have to pay 70 million. So I think this would be a situation where if Liverpool were in and it was going to be 40 million, I think De Laurentiis would probably give him a really hefty pay increase to try and keep him for another season, so we could maybe renegotiate that buyout clause or bump it up a little bit. But I did think it was an interesting one because he is a centre-back that you guys have been asking me about a lot on streams. And when I seen this article today, I thought I had to bring it to you guys because, well, it could be an absolute bargain, right? So between Evan and Dika being available on a free transfer, and of course Josko Gvardiol probably being the most expensive option of the three, I want to know who you would like to see taking a place in that Liverpool centre-back position some points next season. I won't say all the time because Van Dijk and Canade seem to be the ones that we're going to be using moving on. Another thing today to just bring you guys again is an update. The Barcelona are apparently interested in bringing Thiago back. I mentioned this again on a live stream yesterday. He has 1 year left on his Liverpool contract, so remains to be seen whether he'll extend that, whether we'll let him run it down and let him leave on a free at the end of next season, or if something else happens in the meantime. But I don't know where they're getting the money from. I know that Barcelona are going to be looking towards small money or free transfers most likely because of their financial position, but Thiago Alcantara, for me, I don't want Liverpool to let him leave at least until the end of his contract. Again, I want to know what you guys think. And finally, today, and there will be a bit in the manager at the end, but finally, with regards to transfers, Mateo Moretto has said that Liverpool are intensifying their efforts to try and sign Alexis McAllister in the summer. Now, again, I've told you guys I've heard mixed stories on this. Yes, it does seem like there is interest from Liverpool, but somebody had mentioned that he's not really overly interested in coming to play at Anfield. I don't know if that's true or not. I would question the sanity of anyone who doesn't want to come and play football at Anfield, and yes, I'm particularly biased on that one. But Alexis McAllister is rightly the type of midfielder we should be looking at. Caicedo, obviously his teammate from Brighton, is another one that we'd all be very happy to have. We've had the links to the two kids from Chelsea as well, Mason Mount and Conor Gallagher. So look, it is all going in the right direction as far as I'm concerned. And again, you add to the fact that there's been a lot of talk about potential summer investment being very close. So we keep our fingers crossed for that one. But the last thing I have for you guys today before I let you go is a bit of good news, right? Because heaven knows we need enough of it, or we haven't had much of it recently. So Dominic King has come out and said that walking away is not an option for Jurgen Klopp from Liverpool, and that the owners will not take drastic action or look to remove him this season or in the summer. And look, it's common sense. We know this season isn't good enough. He knows this season isn't good enough. The players know this season isn't good enough. But no one factor, in my opinion, is to blame. It's a culmination of fatigue, poor succession planning from the club, players just not performing, the manager making some questionable calls tactically, and a few other bits and pieces as well. You put that all together and you get the season that we've had. So to hear that there's no panic from the club, no talk of sacking Jurgen Klopp, which again, even just saying those few words together makes me feel grubby, because I'll never be in a position where I will come on here and tell you that I am Klopp out. But if we were in a similar position next season after the club may be spending this summer on the midfielders that we're talking about, then I think he would be under a lot more pressure than he is now. So again, we'll see more stories, of course, people trying to link Jurgen Klopp with a move away from the club. But ask yourself this: do you honestly think in your heart of hearts that if Liverpool sack Klopp tomorrow, there wouldn't be a queue half the length of Liverpool with clubs waiting to come and bring him in? And I would suggest that Real Madrid may well be at the very top of that queue, along with many other huge clubs around the world. So Kloppo is staying where he is. We want him to stay where he is, but we do need things to be a little bit better than they are this season, next season. So that is it, my friends. That is my roundup for this evening. As always, we will be live tomorrow from 3:30 p.m. on our Twitch channel. The link for that is in the description of this video. Again, love to know your thoughts on the subjects we spoke about, and I look forward to catching up with you guys tomorrow. Much love. Enjoy your Saturday evening. Talk to you soon.